There was a time where I was sipping lean, I was popping pills, I was doing Molly, shrooms, everything, and it was just an escape for me.
What happens when the person who once saved you from the darkest moments is the same one fighting their own battles in silence? In a world of fame, power, and dangerous connections, Justin Bieber risked everything to protect Selena Gomez, while his own past with Diddy threatened to pull him under. But how deep did that protection go? Justin Bieber's journey through the spotlight has never been a simple climb to stardom. It's been a winding, often treacherous road filled with temptation, manipulation, and moments that could have easily broken him. At one point in his life, he admits he was drowning in a cycle of pills, lean, Molly, and shrooms, numbing himself from a reality that felt too heavy to face. It wasn't just partying, it was an escape from the chaos of fame, from the people who claimed to love him, but were really there for what he could give them. In those early years, the world only saw the bright lights and chart-topping hits. What they didn't see was the young teenager waking up every morning with a blunt in one hand and pills in the other, just to make it through the day. Fame had given Justin the world, but it had also stripped away his peace. And then there was Selena Gomez. Selena had her own battles, her own storms to weather. Recently, she revealed a deeply personal truth, that Justin had been a lifeline during one of the darkest periods of her life. She spoke about the overwhelming pressures she faced, not just from the industry, but from her unsettling interactions with music mogul Sean "Diddy" Combs. At a time when she felt cornered and vulnerable, Justin stepped in, offering her the kind of support only someone who had survived that same world could give. Have you ever wondered what it truly means to save someone, not just from others, but from themselves? Selena and Justin's relationship has always been complicated, filled with breakups, reconciliations, and moments the public could never fully understand. But behind the headlines, there were pivotal instances when they were each other's anchor. One of those moments came when Selena found herself in Diddy's orbit, a situation she never actively sought, yet couldn't easily avoid. According to whispers in the industry, Diddy's interest in Selena began through his connection to Justin's circle. It wasn't the flattering kind of interest. Knowing Diddy's controversial reputation, Selena felt uneasy. She was trying to navigate her career in a volatile environment, and the thought of someone like Diddy pursuing her carried an unshakable sense of danger. She'd heard the stories. She understood the kind of influence Diddy wielded, and the risks that came with crossing him. In an industry where burning the wrong bridge could end careers, even a polite rejection had to be calculated. The tension of that knowledge only deepened her anxiety, but Justin wasn't about to let her face it alone. He understood the stakes better than anyone, because he'd been there. Justin's history with Diddy went back to 2008, when at just 14, he signed with Usher's label, Usher himself being a protege of Diddy. In those early days, Diddy positioned himself as a mentor figure. For a teenage Justin, it seemed like an opportunity most could only dream of, but as time went on, certain moments began to feel off. One resurfaced clip shows Diddy presenting 15-year-old Justin with a luxury convertible, announcing that they'd be spending 48 hours together. A mysterious 48 hours that Diddy insisted they couldn't disclose on camera. "We're going to go full crazy," Diddy grinned. In another instance, from 2011, Diddy forbade 16-year-old Justin from discussing their friendship on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Then there were accounts from others, like Khloe Kardashian recalling a 2014 party at Diddy's mansion where half the guests were naked. It was the darker side of Hollywood, a place where boundaries blurred, and young stars like Justin were exposed to environments they weren't ready to handle. Can you imagine being a teenager in that world, with no one truly looking out for your best interests? Years later, Justin reflected on those years with visible pain. In a tearful Apple Music interview, he spoke about wanting to protect young artists like Billie Eilish from the same experiences, saying he didn't want anyone to go through what I went through. He described the feeling of being adored one moment and abandoned the next, of being surrounded by people who only wanted a piece of his success. And in Selena's case, that protectiveness was deeply personal. When Diddy's interest in Selena surfaced, Justin knew the potential dangers. He'd seen how quickly someone could get pulled into situations that spiraled out of control. He wasn't just worried about her career, he was worried about her safety, her mental health, her ability to survive in a space where power could be used as a weapon. Selena, at that time, was already struggling. The weight of fame, public scrutiny, and private health battles had left her drained. The thought of being entangled with Diddy's world added a new layer of fear. Justin became her shield. In quiet, unseen ways, he made sure she felt supported, that she knew she wasn't alone in when navigating the shark-infested waters of the industry. It wasn't a grand movie-style rescue. It was consistent, steady reassurance, a reminder that she had someone in her corner who understood exactly how dangerous those waters could be. But could protecting someone else also be a way of protecting yourself from your own past? Fast forward to now, and Diddy's name is once again in headlines, this time for reasons far more sinister. Federal prosecutors have accused him of hosting coercive parties involving trafficking and blackmail. He's pleaded not guilty, but the allegations have sent shockwaves through the industry. For Justin, the news was sickening. According to Us Weekly, he wants nothing to do with his former mentor, especially after the arrest. Friends and advisors have urged him to keep his distance, both physically and publicly. The charges, trafficking, racketeering, transporting individuals for illicit purposes, are severe enough to end careers and destroy reputations. But there's another layer to the timing of all this. Just last August, Justin and his wife, Hailey Bieber, welcomed their first child, a son named Jack. It should be one of the happiest moments of Justin's life, but the shadow of this scandal looms large. The stress of new parenthood combined with the pressure of public speculation is a heavy burden. How do you celebrate new life when old ghosts refuse to stay buried? In the midst of all this, Hailey made a bold move. She posted a throwback photo of Justin, shirtless in board shorts, flipping both middle fingers to the camera. The caption? Just one word: mood. Insiders say the choice was intentional, a subtle but clear message that she's standing guard over her husband. She sees herself as his gatekeeper, someone who will shield him from the negativity swirling around his name. Interestingly, the image she chose was from 2017, before Justin reunited with Selena. Some found that detail telling. Others questioned whether Hailey should be speaking for Justin at all, suggesting it might be better to let him address the situation when he's ready. Still, the gesture speaks volumes about her loyalty. Looking back, it's easy to frame Justin as the one who saved Selena from Diddy's shadow, but the truth is, they saved each other in different ways. During his lowest moments, she offered understanding when the rest of the world seemed content to judge. And when she faced her own crossroads, he became the one to quietly block the doors that led to darker places. Their romance may have ended, but the bond forged in those battles remains part of their story, an unspoken acknowledgement that, at least for a time, they were each other's lifeline. So when we talk about saving someone, who really saved who? In the brutal theater of celebrity life, survival often depends on who's standing beside you when the lights go out. Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez shared more than romance. They shared a battlefield. He shielded her from the dangers he knew too well, and she steadied him when the weight of his past threatened to crush him. Today, their paths have diverged, yet the echoes of those moments remain. And as Justin builds a new life with Hailey and their son, the lessons of that shared history may be the very thing that keeps him standing when the next storm hits.